Glad to have you join us on News Now on TV360 Nigeria. I am Annetta Felix. With the presidential and National Assembly elections done and dusted, the attention of Nigerians has now shifted to the forthcoming governorship polls across the country. On this backdrop, the Independent National Electoral Commission Chairman Mahmood Yakubu has been meeting with resident electoral commissioners in the country to discuss preparations for the polls. The meeting, chaired by INEC Chairman Mahmood Yakubu, was held at the INEC headquarters of the Electoral Commission. The governorship, State House of Assembly and FCT elections will come up on March 9th, 2019.
We thought that since the resident electoral commissioners were here with the state collation officers for the presidential election, it is important for us to meet and review the experiences of the last election with a view to strengthening our processes towards the successful conduct of the state elections on Saturday, March the 9th. We have gone very far with all the arrangements for the elections. Elections will hold on March the 9th for the election of governors of states as well as members of the state assemblies. So in short, the purpose of this meeting is in keeping with the tradition of the Commission. Once you conduct the national elections, you take stock and review so that processes and procedures are strengthened, learning from the experience of previous elections before we go into the state elections. So at this point, the meeting will go into a closed session so that we can discuss preparations for the governorship and state assembly elections.
Well, the meeting between INEC and resident electoral commissioners in the country comes as after Yaga Africa, watching the vote, called for a post-election assessment on the February 23rd polls. Chairman of the group, Hussaini Abdul, made the call while speaking at the 2019 presidential election result verification press conference in Abuja. He also raised concerns over the shortcomings that marked the presidential and National Assembly elections.
The interim, Yaga Africa calls on INEC to investigate the potential suppression of votes in Nasarawa State through the disproportionate cancellation of ballots and to hold those responsible publicly accountable. We moreover call upon INEC to provide clear and timely explanation on the discrepancies between the number of registered voters announced prior to and after the elections and the higher rate of cancellation of ballot overall. Yaga Africa also calls upon INEC to engage in a serious post-election review to identify the gaps in the preparation that both necessitated an election delay and resulted in the late opening of polling units across the country on the 23rd of February.
As INEC continues to tidy up preparations ahead of the elections, political parties in Lagos State are doing the same. Party stalwarts and organizations have begun voicing their hopes and expectations for the forthcoming polls. Oyin Adekunle tells us more.
After more than 16 years at the helm of affairs in Lagos, southwest Nigeria, the All Progressives Congress is hoping to consolidate on its victory at the national level by ensuring the success of its candidate Babajide Sanwo-Olu in the forthcoming governorship election. Despite the close marking between the APC and opposition People's Democratic Party in the result of the presidential election from Lagos, former PDP chairman turned coordinator of the Buhari Oshibajo support group, Moshood Salvador, has reaffirmed his commitment to securing an APC victory in the election.
I can assure you, in Lagos State, I will bury PDP completely. It is complete burial. We will just act as if there is no opposition at all, because they are not even keen or interested in winning election. The people at the national don't even understand what is actually happening in Lagos. It is like fetching water into a basket. That is what is going on in Lagos. That failing, because their armful of supporters has not increased. they are decreasing every day.
Sanwo-Olu's campaign organization is also not resting on its oars. Jermaine Sanwo-Olu, a member of the campaign team, says he's confident the party will emerge victorious, going by its achievements in the past 16 years.
We are fully confident that Lagosians will actually support the APC government, which has actually been doing great over the past 16, now going to 20 years of our democracy. The next level for Lagosians is going to be a greater Lagos that no one has actually seen before. And this is just coming on the great work that His Excellency, the former governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, did, then Governor Fashola, then Governor Amode. Now you can see these are all brilliant men. These are men who have been performed exceptionally well as governors, and they're now handing the baton over to someone who can even do great work and going to take it to a greater level, a next level, and going to be a greater Lagos.
However, at this press conference convened in Lagos, leaders of the Fresh Lagos Orange movement have criticized what they call the purported monopoly of former Governor Bola Tinubu in the Nigerian politics, especially in Lagos State.
Enough is enough. Lagosians, arise and shine. Liberate yourself from the iron grip of the terror of Babylon. Enough is enough. Lagosians, stand up. Free yourselves and your future from the captivity of a roguish system of power succession that lacks basic respect for free choice of leadership. Lagos is not an inheritance of Tinubu's. We must end his reign of terror once and for all. This Saturday, March 9th, we shall not vote Tinubu and APC ever again in Lagos. Tinubu and his goons must go.
Babajide Sanwo-Olu and fourth-time contender Jimmy Agbaje of the PDP will be facing a tough challenge with 39 other candidates who are vying for the top seat in Lagos. With over 6 million accredited voters, it may not be an easy challenge for the APC. But all eyes are on the state for who will eventually emerge governor after the election on March 9, 2019. Oyin Adekunle, TV360, Nigeria.
A federal high court sitting in Port Harcourt has declared as null, void and unconstitutional the candidacy of Dumolulu Briggs as the governorship flag bearer of the Accord Party in Rivers State. Justice Emmanuel Obile, ruling on the case filed before the court, held that Lulu Briggs did not participate in the primaries conducted on October 4th, 2018. The judge also noted that at the time of conducting the primary election, Briggs was a governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC. The court thereafter ordered INEC to replace his name with the plaintiff, Precious Barudu, as the candidate of the party in the state's governorship election. And now to the just concluded presidential election. The United Kingdom has congratulated President Muhammadu Buhari on his re-election victory. In a statement signed by its Minister of State for Africa, Henriette Baldwin, the UK expressed support for the Buhari-led government and its continuity. Baldwin said the UK is a long-standing friend and partner of Nigeria and its people, adding that a stable and prosperous Nigeria benefits Africa and the world. The minister also commended the outcome of the election, which said tallied with the civil society parallel vote tabulation process. She advised Nigerians to trust the election and urged those who feel aggrieved to seek redress through the legal process. Meanwhile, cabinet members of the Buhari-led administration have been thanking Nigerians, especially the youth, for supporting President Muhammadu Buhari during the just concluded presidential election. Speaking to journalists in Abuja, Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, and the Secretary General to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, promised that the government will not rest on its oars.
It's expressed by the Honorable Minister of Power, Works and Housing. This was an appreciation evening for the young persons who have played an active role in ensuring that all the processes of the management of the election were monitored all over the country. And it's historical because this occasion is taking place in the banquet hall of the villa, where Mr. President ordinarily would host heads of visiting countries. So the impression that it leaves out there with them is that the future is bright, the future is theirs, and they can as well aspire to the leadership of this country by this singular act of hosting them this evening. Looking into the future, Mr. President is very, very clear about the things that he will want to see. He will still stand on the three pivot points that he pushed in 2015, securing the nation, diversifying the economy, and also fighting corruption with all intensity. And there will be inclusiveness all over the place. And like I said this afternoon, that this is one government that has really invested in social infrastructure by inclusiveness, by bringing in people who are below the poverty level up, out, and out of poverty. There are so many things that we're looking forward to in the future.
I think it went well. The young men and women were very, very delighted to be here, and Mr. President also expressed his delight to have and to host them in the villa and to say thank you to them. And I think it's a fitting close, really, to the presidential campaign for the president to look back and to recall that the way to victory was littered with the sacrifice of so many young people, and to appropriately call them to this place to have a short cocktail and a thank you meeting with.
More Nigerians have continued to react to President Muhammadu Buhari's re-election victory. Residents in Lagos, while congratulating the president on his victory, however demanding better government and improved standard of living for every Nigerian.
So I wasn't expecting him to win because he wasn't running an inclusive government. But since he won and he said he's going to run an inclusive government, let's give him a try. And I thought as much that since this APC is just done 4 years, PDP has done a lot of, there are a lot of crooks there, you know, as in, the APC should just come in and do what they ought to do, because PDP is not a better alternative. So I never expected Buhari to win because of the rows here and there in the country. Look at S-Men, look at diverse scenario in terms of economy, and he's not proactive in decision making.
For house to pay money, no problem, no work. Buhari this thing now. If he say na him go dey, may dey. You say na another person, he dey, may dey. Now, may the people wey enter now, may them do better.
Opposition People's Democratic Party has also been reacting to President Muhammadu Buhari's victory. Presidential candidate of the party, Atiku Abubakar, has condemned the conduct of Saturday's presidential election, describing it as the worst poll conducted by the country in 30 years. Speaking during a World Press Conference in Abuja, Atiku vowed to retrieve his mandate by seeking legal redress.
On election day, we saw the implementation of grand theft of the people's will. Look at this guy. I am not one for hyperbole, so I will just let the facts speak for themselves. Let me say that I'm not speaking as a member of the People's Democratic Party. I am speaking as a Nigerian when I say that the electoral fraud perpetrated by the Buhari administration this past Saturday cannot produce a government of the people for the simple reason that it does not reflect the will of the Nigerian people. My dear Nigerians, it is for this reason that I, Atiku Abubakar, reject the results declared by the independent electoral commission. For my fellow Nigerians who feel angry, disillusioned, and let down by the process, I appeal to you to remain calm and steadfast. Rome was not built in a day. We have the real figures. We have the real figures. We have the facts that were spoken so loudly on Saturday, February 23, 2019. As I have always said, this year is my 3 decades in Nigeria's struggle for democracy. But this is the worst election in those 30 years.
The Nigerian government has now responded to the threat by candidate of PDP, Atiku Abubakar, to challenge the result of the presidential election in court. Speaking to journalists in Abuja, Secretary General to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, declared dead Atiku to go through with his plans. Mustafa said the country's constitution and the Electoral Act have provided that whoever is not satisfied with the result of the election should approach the court. Atiku had rejected the result of the presidential election, which he lost to incumbent President Muhammadu Buhari with a 4 million vote margin. Meanwhile, the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Adams Oshiomhole, has slammed Atiku Abubakar for challenging the result of the presidential elections. Oshiomhole, speaking during a press conference of the APC in Abuja, argued that all available data show that the election was not just free and fair, but that it expressed the mind of Nigerians.
From day one, Atiku made up his mind that unless he wins, the election is not free and fair. It is only free and fair if he is returned as a candidate. Now we ask the question, what is the value of the peace accord? Watching Atiku Abubakar yesterday, he alleged that the stock market crashed or lost about 85 billion naira in value, just on hearing that President Muhammadu Buhari has lost the election, has won the election. Now, that is twisting the facts upside down. Truth is, when Atiku started talking about his irrevocable commitment to privatize and sell NNPC, many people wondered aloud if he has not already collected deposit. When he says, even if he will die, was he going to rule Nigeria against our wish? Because democracy does not end at voting. Citizens must hold their leaders accountable for their policy choices. So when he says, even if he will die, he will sell an NPC, many believe he has already collected deposit. Atiku's desperation is so obvious, so desperate that in 2003, it is on record, he challenged his own boss, President Olusegun Obasanjo, not to do a second term. And in the end, they fought naked at Wuse Market. Subsequently, Atiku decamped to join ACN. I was in ACN then. We offered him the ticket. Like Father Mbaka will say, he became like a big bird, like a vulture that couldn't fly. And he lost that election.
The senior special assistant to the President, Muhammadu Buhari, on National Assembly matters, Senator Ita Enang, has cautioned the supporters of the APC to avoid using hate speeches while celebrating the victory of the president's re-election. Enang made this known while speaking to newsmen at the State House in Abuja. He has also advised campaigners in the forthcoming governorship and state assembly elections to adhere to Nigeria's electoral laws.
What we as a government and as a people should do is to ensure that our statements, our actions, our celebration, and our reaction to those who lose should be tempered, temperate, measured, humble, and such as are not capable of inciting the other party to anger. And what we should also do, all of us in government, all those who have won as senators, members of the House of Representatives, our followers in the party, should be that we speak less and work more to bring about unity and integration of those who have lost. In the next election, we are going in on the 9th, next week. We should look at, as a party and as a government, the areas and the pitfalls and address it so that there will be peaceful election. I will advise that all those who are going in for the elections, campaigning, the governors and the members of the state, the governorship candidates and the House of Assembly candidates who are going in for the elections, they should also measure their campaign words, and they should maintain peace better than was maintained in the presidential and National Assembly elections. This election is closer to the people, closer to the grassroots, and so tempers are likely to be higher, so they should measure their campaign actions and speeches.
Still on electoral matters, the People's Democratic Party in Abia State have rejected the result of senatorial election in the North Zone. The party's spokesman, Don Ubani, says the state working committee reached the decision after a critical review of the conduct of the election. He argued that the election was marred by a series of irregularities in various wards in the zone, hence the reason for the rejection of the poll. INEC had announced candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Orji Uzokalu, as winner of the senatorial election in the district, placing PDP candidate Mao Ohabonwa second place. And we'll take a break here. When we return, we'll bring you business news and more. Please stay with us.
Corruption not in my country.
Madam, madam, welcome. Okay, madam, no worry. When you deliver the balance, we'll give you the goods.
No problem, no problem. All right, so now well done.
Thank you. Hey, Oga, I still say she don't bring money. Maybe we use this one for him now. She wants mahogany, not white wood. Oga, our work now to join wood together, deliver whatever to customer. Put the remaining profit for pocket.
Abba, this is corruption, not in my country. Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
You're welcome back. Let's now cross to Fidelia, who's standing by for business news.
Thank you, Aneta. So Nigerians have been reacting on the possible impact of President Muhammadu Buhari's re-election victory on the economy. Citizens are demanding an end to rising inflation figures and economic stability at the next level. And as a Felix,
Corruption not in my country.
Dalali, my business has been going down. I need your help.
Bawahala. I will show you the formula. I use some bad chemical which I mix, so produce the drugs which gives me up to 4 times profit. Imagine power.
So you are one of the people that is killing millions and millions of Nigerians in this country. Dalali, was it not you last 2 months that was complaining about the fuel scarcity in this country, that the government is corrupt?
Have I killed anybody in your family?
You don't have to kill any of my family members directly. Every Nigerian you kill is my family. Selling of fake drugs, expired drugs, putting drugs in wrong packets, all that are acts of corruption. This is corruption, not in my country. CIA.
Me? Fake drug? Now corruption? Allah care.
Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
On TV360, we don't just ask the questions. What is wrong with amending the Constitution the way the National Assembly members have been doing it? We seek answers.
Constitution is constituent. Our problem is not lack of laws. Our problem is lack of the willpower to implement our laws.
Answers that provide clarity.
While we negotiate, we should try to make it a point that the girls must be complete.
The clarity you need to make informed judgment so that you can make the right decision and take action.
People are saying it is you politicians that are responsible for this, that you are the reason why this is happening.
All these dollars that call themselves governors in this country. I wish we had people like Tony at the National Assembly. God forbid that I go to join that
TV360, providing clarity to issues.
Well, we apologize for that break in transmission. Now, Nigerians have been reacting on the possible impact of President Muhammadu Buhari's re-election victory on the economy. Citizens are demanding an end to rising inflation figures and economic stability at the next level. This next report tells us more.
Chukwado Nnamdi had come to Ikpodo Market in Ikeja to buy meat for dinner. Her budget was 500 naira, but it turns out that she would need to have some opportunity cost to have a meal on her table tonight.
Because I'm not certified with the meat, I'll have to put more. I have to buy more 300 naira meat because the meat of 500 naira is too small. That's what we are seeing now.
In December 2018, Nigeria's inflation rate rose to a 7-month high of 11.44%, and food prices rose beyond expectation. As Nigeria begins another political cycle, citizens are expecting the newly elected leaders to deliver on their promises.
Help us to beg Buhari. We are suffering. As in, suffering is too much. This Lagos, everybody is suffering. As in, I don't even know what to say. We just need money. And turkey, before, carton of turkey is just 8,000 naira. Now we are buying it 15,000 naira, 18,000. For what reason? Everything is too cost. Please reduce it. As in, bag of rice before it's 8,000 naira, but now we are buying 16,500, 17,000, 18,000. For what reason? It's too much.
90.8 million Nigerians ended 2018 in extreme poverty. According to the World Poverty Clock, 6 Nigerians join that list every minute. Omaomi Osas, a food vendor at the Ikpodo Market, says this contributes to the rise in crime in Lagos, and she's asking the president to take urgent action.
I'm a woman. I cannot use myself now to go and be nailing man up and down, or I should be stealing. If you see me when I'm stealing, you will catch me and beat me. You understand? But if I'm selling the market now, the market is okay for me because I'm selling for person. And that market is okay for me now. I'll start my own business. You understand? But there's no market, there's no anything. People will shout no money, no money, no money, no money. You understand? That's why we vote for Buhari. So I beg Buhari in the name of God, in the name of Allah, that everything to be okay for us.
Before I go, they sell 5 cartons. This I never sell one since morning where I don't come. See this fish, yesterday fish. It don't change. Show the money don't go be that. Carton before they buy and receipt. I still get receipt 7,000 naira carton. Now I see 25,000 naira carton. One like this size now is 500 naira. Now I see 1,200 naira for pound one. You know you see.
The meat where we buy 50,000 before, we don't buy 100,000, 120 now. Everything too, cause all of us we don't vote for them. As we don't vote for them, make everything come down. And the way we pay with that, make everything come down. It too cost too much. Everybody they shout. The thing too cost, make it help us.
Nigeria's GDP grew by 1.93% in 2018. President Muhammadu Buhari has promised to take the country to the next level in the next 4 years, and Nigerians are optimistic about their future. Annetta Felix, TV360, Nigeria.
Well, let's now look at activities on the stock market after this. Well, it seems investors are still yet to regain full confidence on the Nigeria Stock Exchange as the market continues to witness massive downtrends, this time dropping by 1.63%, which translates to a loss of over 190 billion naira in market capitalization. Now, losses recorded in the consumer goods sector largely contribute to this drop in market value. Nestle leads the percentage laggards for a third straight day, with the share price dropping by 30 naira. And this is as a result of persistent sell-off by investors. Now, trailing behind, as we can see, is another equity from the consumer goods sector, which is Nigeria Brewers, and it's recording a drop of 4.45% in value. Well, let's now look at the gainers, because despite these losses, there are still gainers on the market today. And on the flip side, investors' confidence in Dangote Cement seems to have received a boost from the recent rating of the company's CEO, Aliko Dangote, as the 64th richest man in the world. Now, this saw the value of the company rise by over 2 naira, with more than 3 million shares traded on the floor of the market today. It was also a good day for GlaxoSmithKline, UAC Prop, and Union Bank, of Nigeria. Well, in summary, we can see that over 5,000 deals worth 5.2 billion naira exchange hands in the market today. And on the global level, failed talks between U.S. President Donald Trump and North Korea's Kim Jong-un negatively impacted investors' confidence on the Dow, FTSE and Nikkei, all dropping in value, as we can see right here. Well, that is from the world of business. It's back to Annetta.
Thank you for that update, Fidelia. Moving on now, we see that Senegal's Macky Sall has won his second 5-year term as the president of the West African state. Sall took 58% of the vote in the poll, which had faced 4 challengers. The incumbent president was first elected in 2012. On the campaign trail, he focused on his record with infrastructure projects. He has portrayed himself as a modernizer who has helped to boost economic growth to more than 6% a year, one of the highest rates in Africa. However, critics say that most ordinary Senegalese have not felt the benefits of this project. Now, in sport, Barcelona fullback Jordi Alba has signed a new 5-year contract with the club that will run until the end of 2023 to 2024 season. Alba's current contract was due to expire next year in 2020, but this new deal keeps him at the club until 2024. The new release clause is set at £500 million, and Alba, who will turn 30 in March, signed for Barcelona in the summer of 2012 after scoring one of the goals in the final when Spain beat Italy 4-0 at Euro 2012. He has helped the team to win 4 La Liga titles and Copa del Rey, as well as the 2015 Champions League when they won a historic treble. And thank you for watching. This has been News Now on TV360 Nigeria. I am Annetta Felix. Bye for now.